is 15 mLs, so 2 is an ounce. Use half a cup of vodka. Happy Wednesday.
Ooh, the fancy vodka.
Yeah.
We're live at 6 o'clock.
It's 6 o'clock.
It's past 6 o'clock. Are we late? Did we start late? It's my fault. Everything is my fault right now. It's a little crazy around here. So it's Wednesday at 6:02. Welcome to the Well-Seasoned Kitchen. I'm Angie. This is Chef Tessa. And we just finished like this cardio staff meeting.
We did, yeah. We really powered through it. I was looking up like every minute to make sure I was...
I think that was the shortest, most efficient staff meeting in history.
Hopefully.
Or maybe. We'll find out how efficient it was, that's for sure. So it's Wednesday and we are getting ready for Christmas and Chef has,
Whole bottle of vodka.
What is this situation?
We are going to be continuing the trend of using all of the Christmas liquor that we made, and I'm going to make us some chocolate martinis today.
Have you tried that?
I haven't tried it yet, so we are going to be using the vegan Irish cream that we made, and I guess it'll still be a vegan cocktail.
Yeah, vodka's vegan.
Vodka's vegan. But let's, you know. So
Jenna's going to post the recipe, I think, to the vegan Irish cream that we made. So it's essentially coconut milk. What else?
Coconut milk. There's coconut cream in it.
Lakanto sugar.
Yeah.
Is there?
Is it vodka?
Oh my gosh. Jenna's going to post the recipe for it
because we can't remember.
It's really good.
It's delicious. I like the coconut. I really, really like the coconut.
Yeah, it's not strong coconutty, but it's got a really good. It makes it sort of richer and creamier.
You know what this would go really good with?
What?
My magic bars.
Oh, God. Oh, man. This place, I can't even right now. So this has been in the refrigerator. The beauty of refrigerating, or of this vegan Bailey's or vegan coffee liqueur is that the coconut milk lasts for a really long time, so there's no fresh dairy in it, so you can keep it in the refrigerator literally for months.
Yeah.
And so what's going on here? So there's vodka.
So there's vodka. I've got an ounce of vodka. We're doing an ounce and a half of the Bailey's or vegan Irish cream. Sorry.
Yes, you
Don't
can't
sue
call
us.
it Bailey's.
I can't call it Bailey's. And then I'm going to add some chocolate syrup that I made very quickly.
Because the Irish cream thing wasn't chocolatey enough?
Well, I figured, I was looking up recipes and I was just feeling like a martini. And then we looked at all the different options and I was like, you know what, I'll make a chocolate syrup. We can make some chocolate martinis. And so that's what we're attempting.
As one does.
As one does.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday at 6.
At work.
At work. People don't do this at work normally? Is that just us?
I don't know. I haven't had a real job in a long time. Do people do this at work? I don't know. This is my work.
I'm happy it's mine. I'll say that.
Okay, so vodka and the chocolate syrup. What's in your chocolate syrup?
So my chocolate syrup is simple syrup, which we came to the conclusion last week, was not 1-to-1. It was 2-to-1, parts sugar to water, because I don't measure.
Typically, simple syrup is 1-to-1, but
typically,
Tessa, goes a little rogue occasionally.
Occasionally. So I took that same simple syrup. I brought it up to a simmer, and then I quite literally tossed in some dark chocolate chips, and that was it.
All right.
That's all I did.
So that'll keep for a really long time also. So these cocktails, I know you probably haven't had a chance today to do any garnish for this, but the little chocolate shavings would be really nice on here. Some chocolate, we sell these crispy chocolate pearls that would float in here. Mary, our pastry chef, loves them.
Oh, she loves them.
The crispy chocolate pearls, they're basically showing up everywhere right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up one day and there's going to be chocolate pearls on my pillow, I'm sure, from Mary. But you could garnish this with a tiny little candy cane would be super cute.
Yeah,
Even a little piece of orange peel or something would be really nice on here. Is this done?
Yeah, that one's for you.
Oh, thank you.
I serve you first, of course. You have the world's tiniest shaker, so I can only do one at a time.
And what's with the Kettle One? I mean, Kettle One's a really good vodka, but, typically we use local vodka, but we drank all the local vodka.
I think we drank all the local vodka, and I just grabbed the first one that I could see. I won't lie.
This is really good. I'm not a chocolate martini kind of person.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like espresso martini? Do you like martinis?
I like one. Oh, a straight up martini, yeah.
Yeah.
I can have a couple of those, like a dirty gin martini or something like that. But
Yep.
these sort of dessert type martinis, I can't have more than one.
Well, I feel like that's kind of what they're meant for. If you have more than one, it's just too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's, well,
I don't know. My
I mean-
friend Jack, he makes a really good espresso martini. He uses espresso, and then I think he uses the espresso vodka as well. And so it's not a sweetened.
Yes.
It's the straight up coffee. So anyhow, this is really good actually.
Is it, surprisingly?
Maybe I could have two.
Maybe? Oh, well, I'm sold. That's all you had to tell me.
So you could sugar the rim, make it really fancy, do all that kind of stuff. And if you're having company, you can mix the mixture way ahead of time. You can put it in a pitcher if you're making a bunch of them, and then just sort of shake it to order.
All
Cheers.
right. Cheers.
This doesn't even taste vegan.
That's always the goal, isn't it? Oh, my. Ooh. Yes.
Good, huh?
You know what would be good in this? Peppermint schnapps.
Oh, you have some up
Do
there?
I have some?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be for the next round. While you're over there working, you can...
I may have fortified our liquor cabinet for the holidays, so we do have a bunch of stuff up there because I'm giving this one a shot at the, a do-over on the liquor
Yeah,
cabinet.
I thought you were just going to say you were giving me a shot. I was like,
well, that's what that
That's
is,
close.
essentially.
it's two, really.
So tonight, tonight we're doing, what did we call this class, Jenna?
Holiday Treats 1982 Chatelaine Edition.
That's right.
Yes.
So I feel like when Chef sent the recipes, and I didn't really see the recipes until you guys saw the menu, and I was like, what is happening right now? I feel like the Company's Coming cookbook and Chatelaine magazine had a baby, and it's like 1982, way before this one was even born.
It's true.
And so we're going to elevate some Christmas favorites tonight.
Yes.
So we're doing, we as in she, we're doing a nuts and bolts.
Yep, I'm doing a nuts and bolts recipe, kind of somewhat traditional, I guess. There are a couple ingredients that were in the recipe that we've substituted for others. Just,
So fancy.
I know, right?
This is a bougie nuts and bolts.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. We're about to find out. We won't know until we taste it. So we got our nuts and bolts. We are going to be doing a version of a magic bar, which if you've ever purchased a can of sweetened condensed milk from Eagle Brand in your life, you've seen the picture on the can. That's what we're going for, but we're adding a few more things to it, okay?
Magical.
So that I can't get sued. So we're adding a few different things to it. And by I mean her. And
You think Eagle Brand's going to sue you?
no, I don't think
Bring it, Eagle Brand.
Bring it on.
Bring it.
I'm probably the only person in the world who actively is like, you know what I need right now? A magic bar.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't think I had to really push for this. I just need you guys to understand I had to really push for the magic bar. It's my favorite Christmas dessert. This was like every year at Christmas time, this is what I look forward to most.
I
was
love that you
magic
call
bars.
this a dessert.
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right.
What do you call it?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a treat.
holiday
That's
treat?
right, Jenna.
For us, at Christmas time, we never really did we didn't do pies or cakes or anything. We would just have a tray of a lot of little sweet treats. That was like very typical in my household. And so this was a kind of a must. And then we're also doing another thing that is straight out of my great-grandmother's cookbook, typed with tons of mistakes in it. And it is our version of reindeer poops, which I didn't know there were multiple versions. So we call this one crispy reindeer poop, okay?
As opposed to the
Smooth. And as I was talking about it yesterday out loud, my sister, who was on the phone, was like, really,
What?
you're going to call it that? And I was like, yes, I am, okay? Listen. So it is a Rice Krispie-based treat that we're going to be making. And then just to switch things up, we're doing a hot cheese dip.
All right.
Because,
What's a party without a hot cheese dip? I'm going to say it. What is a party without a hot
It's
cheese?
true.
Fondue,
true.
raclette, hot cheese dip. It is not a party without a hot cheese dip.
Exactly. So we are going to be doing an artichoke hot cheese dip. We're actually going to be subbing the crab for prawns this evening. And that will be our menu. So we're all over the map. Nothing makes sense. This is pretty much my brain on the table. And nobody talks to anybody up here. It just, everyone has their suggestions. It doesn't make sense.
So Chef's like, I know, let's do Christmas treats and let's make everything I grew up eating. So, except she's never had nuts and bolts before.
No.
So we talked about nuts and bolts, and she's like, what is that? What is it? Anyhow, so she has zero expectations for the nuts and bolts because she's never actually had them. And I don't like them. Like, I think
You're telling me you've been talking about this for like a month and you don't even like it?
I don't like nuts and bolts because I think they're, I don't know. This is Chex, right? Isn't this a rice cereal?
I got the rice one on purpose.
Yeah.
Because they're crispy.
Right. I think Chex are okay. I mean, I've never eaten it as a cereal, but I think they need salt.
Well, there's going to be salt that's going to go on them.
I know, but who would eat that as a cereal without the salt? Anyhow, whatever. So I'm not a lover of... we're going to see how this works out.
We're going to see if she even loves the evening. You like the martini, so we're off to a strong, solid start. I think that's what matters most.
I'm curious about the reindeer poop, and I'm truthfully, I've had a version of Magic bars. My favorite coffee shop in Montana makes these bars that are a version of Magic bars, but they put a lot more stuff in it, and they sell them all year, and I love them. But you know, you were talking about at your house, your family didn't do a dessert at Christmas. They did squares or something.
Yeah, we would do lots of squares.
This would never have made it anywhere at my house. So, like, this would have been eaten out of the freezer. Like, my grandmother used to freeze containers and, like, tins. I'm sure you guys all have the old tins. My grandmother would fill the tins with, like, shortbread and butter tarts and these kinds of things. She'd put them in the freezer. Then she'd literally go into the freezer on Christmas Day and the tins would be decimated, empty. Because all of us would be like, oh, I know where she keeps that.
The treat.
And so we'd be downstairs in the freezer, like filling our pie hole with all of these treats, eating as many as we could frozen until we literally, like, our brains were going to pop right out of our heads from the frozen thing.
But I like them. I like them more when they're frozen because I do the same thing. I eat them. We do the exact same thing. We make all the treats, pop them in tins, but we just make an exorbitant amount of them. Exorbitant? Exorbitant. That's a fancy word. I can't say fancy words like that. And we would have enough treats. We'd end up making like hundreds.
Well, I think they're also less sweet when they're frozen. When they're at room temperature, they're like intensely sweet. Yeah. But when they're frozen, you can eat 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah. Until it starts really hurting the roof of your mouth from like the shards of coconut stabbing you. And then you're just like, okay, hold on, I need a breather. It's 2 a.m. I'm going to be up for another 3 hours now.
Why am I sweating?
Why am I sweating?
I'm eating frozen desserts right now. Why am I sweating?
It's the beauty of Christmas.
Yeah,
and
that's my childhood.
Like, I won't be going home for Christmas again this year, so my sisters are going to be complaining that there's no one there at 2 a.m. to scouge, because that's what I do. I come home, I scrounge around at 2 in the morning, and I eat all the desserts. And they're happy I do it so that, you know, they don't eat them, but I'm not going to be there again, so they're going to complain to me.
I remember once, I wasn't a small child, but I was younger than I am now. And I was at my parents' house, and my mom's like, oh, how'd you sleep last night? I'm like, I'm fine. She's like, did you find the shortbread? I was like, what? What are you talking about? Find the shortbread? No? Why? And there was like a cherry from the shortbread on my pajamas, and it was like, like I slept with that. Oh my God. To this day, I can't, it just kills me. My mom's like, how is the shortbread? I'm like, what shortbread? And there's like a cherry stuck to my pajamas. It kills me. My mom told that story literally every day of her life. Like, I totally got busted. I was like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like,
I would never, as it's on my body.
I'm totally crying right now. That totally kills me because I just like completely relived that minute. And it's like, so I was like, oh, what are you talking about?
I'm innocent. As a child, I can just imagine you too, just being like.
I may have been in my 30s. Visiting my parents' house. Anyhow,
my God.
I still do that. I get home and I'm like, oh, where'd that come from? Anyhow, oh gosh. Anyhow, so Jenna's posted the rest. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That kills me. Oh, thank God I have no shame. So Jenna has posted the recipes for tonight's class. If you have questions while Chef is creating all of these dishes from 1972, feel free to ask your questions in the comment bar. I might have another martini because clearly one is not enough. So yeah, let's get started.
Let's get to it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get to it.
Oh, I die.
I know. I can't. I don't think I've ever seen you laugh that hard. I don't even know where to start. I can't even. How do I top that? I can't. All right.
Yeah, good luck.
I know. So I am going to start here with the nuts and bolts because these guys need to hang out in the oven for about an hour. And so we're going to get all of that together. So for this, I've got some bagel chips. I've got some Chex, plain Chex, the rice ones. I've got some plain Cheerios. I'm adding some chopped salted peanuts. I've got pretzel sticks and cheese sticks as well. For our seasonings that are going to go in it, I have half a cup of butter melted off to the side here. I've got some Worcestershire sauce, and then we've got a little bit of celery salt, smoked paprika, and garlic powder. So I'm going to get all of this in a bowl, which I didn't grab. So I'm going to grab a bowl. And we're going to get this together here. I'm going to add the Worcestershire sauce in with my melted butter, just so kind of all of the liquids are there together. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Everybody goes in the bowl. Now there is, I did write, in addition, you could add wasabi peas if you wanted to add something with a little bit of bite to it. I am not the biggest fan of wasabi peas, but my partner makes me like them, so they're always in the house. That's the one snack that he's like, at least I can't eat a whole bag of them because I'll end up crying because they're too spicy for me, so I'm not opposed to it. But I just straight up, I'm not going to lie, I straight up ran out of time and did not make it to the store. That's what it is. Christmas is coming. We're starting to get a little busy, so it's my fault. You can blame everything on me. It's okay. I'm used to it. Yeah. No, I want to drink it. I'll move that for Jenna. She's very demanding today. So all of the dry ingredients are in here. They're all dry. All of my nuts and bolts ingredients are in here. I'm going to add my spice mix over top.
Stacey says you're missing bugles in your mix.
Oh, I love bugles. You put bugles in your nuts and bolts? Yeah, you put them on your fingers and you... Interesting. I know that everyone has their own variety. If there's anything that Google taught me yesterday, it's that a lot of people have different ways of making it. For some reason, I thought it was like popcorn and M&Ms and peanuts, but I guess that's just another...
So there's also a version called Puppy Chow, and it's got white chocolate. Who here is making Puppy Chow? Somebody just said
Puppy Chow.
They're making Puppy Chow. Bev, what's in your Puppy Chow?
What's in your Puppy Chow?
Post a note that says what's in it.
Yeah,
please.
and I want to know how it's different. And who comes up with these names? What does that mean, Puppy Chow? Does that mean it looks like canned dog food?
Dude, you're making reindeer poop. Ease up on the
That's true.
commentary
I
now.
have no right to say a crispy reindeer poop. Hold on. It's not just reindeer poop.
Barb says, oh yeah, you need 4 bags of bugles in there. Doug too. Doug's like, bugles are the best.
Bugles
oh my
are
God.
the best.
Chef, you're missing the bugles. What is
know.
happening?
I'm a failure, guys. Did you say creamed corn? Oh, on top of your bugles. I love bugles, but I can only eat like a third of a bag because then I find they get really salty. All right. I'm actually surprised I'm not mixing this with my hands. I wash my hands far too much throughout the day because I just would rather use those than anything else. Okay. I used salted butter. So because I used salted butter, I'm only going to add a small pinch of salt to this instead of a big pinch. And really, all we need to do, onto a sheet pan, into the oven, And you're gonna bake it on a low temperature until the butter is completely gone and it's dry. So ideally you want your oven at about 250, maybe 275, and you're tossing your nuts and bolts every 20 minutes or so until it's nice and flavorful and absorbed. So I'm gonna grab my sheet pan here. Oh my goodness, all right. Nobody tell my pastry chef. But I'm using her parchment that she specifically drew her meringues on for her pavlovas that she's making for this week's meal. Because again, I was just too lazy to grab a fresh one from the box. So don't tell her. But when she comes in tomorrow morning, actually she'll probably just forget. Hopefully. Unless she's watching. I love you, Mary. Okay. And then into the oven. Set it and forget it.
Man, everybody's got their little situation going on. Denise is like, Cheez-It sticks. Barb's
Cheez-Its.
like, Barb says, Chef, you better run to Walmart and get some bugles. Bev is like, half a cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of chocolate chips
butter.
melted in the microwave, pour over 6 cups of shreddies. That's her puppy chow.
Okay, interesting.
And Doug can apparently only eat 3 bags of bugles at one sitting.
Only 3 in one sitting. I expected more from you, Doug. I really thought you could do.
And then Barb says once it's done, you toss it with 2 cups of icing sugar until it's totally covered, and then you store it in a tin. So it's the peanut butter, the white chocolate. So yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not sure. Does that look like puppy chow? I don't think so, but I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like it might.
Maybe.
It sounds like it might.
I don't know.
So while that's in the oven, I'm going to hop over to the magic bars, okay? It's happening, although on the recipe, it's called a chocolate coconut pecan bar because, you know, I don't want to fully rip them off. I did add like 3 ingredients that weren't in the recipe on the back of the can. So we're going to start by making our graham crumb base. So I've got an 8x8 pan here that I just lined with a little bit of parchment. When you're lining a pan, if you have a hard time fitting your parchment in, okay, cut your corners. Do this guy here. That way when you press it into your pan, you can kind of easily fold the corners over and it's gonna sit in a little bit better.
Pro tip.
Pro tip, cut your parchment. Use parchment. I guess that's pro tip number 1 is use parchment.
Oh, that's rich. Anyhow.
So, for our graham base here, I've got some melted butter, which I'm just going to temp very quickly. Oh, the child lock is on.
Oh, that's me, sorry.
Oh, man, you know how much I fight with this thing every day.
Dennis's girlfriend.
Dennis's girlfriend that I fight with. She's got a lot of attitude, let me tell you. So I'm just gonna warm up my butter. I've got some graham crumbs here. We're making a very basic graham base. I've also got some chopped pecans. So I'm gonna do half of it into the crust, and then the other half we're gonna sprinkle on top. And
Are the nuts roasted or raw?
these ones are raw, but you could absolutely use roasted. I mean, roasted pecans are, you know, superior to your raw. I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. That's gonna find its way into the base. And I really just needed my butter to kind of loosen up a little bit. It had been sitting for a little while. Stop
You should
yelling.
make it a vegan martini.
I should make the magic bar a vegan martini? Whatever she says goes. Whatever she says goes. I'm gonna give this a mix here, making a basic graham base. I love magic. You can talk as much smack as you want about them. I will fight you. I will die on this hill. This is my, I know, if they don't, I'm out of here. Like, if these don't meet the standards that I've been touting, you will find me crying downtown, walking in circles with no purpose left in life. I won't know what to do. Clutching my magic bars and my Eagle brand, hoping Eagle brand will hire me to make magic bars. That's where, that's my next move. A little sprinkle of salt into the base. And I'm going to get this into my pan now. The recipe does call for a 9 by 13. Of course it does. Do you think I looked for one? No. So I took the 8 by 8 because it was the first one that I found. And we're going to press this into the pan as evenly as we can. Okay. And I know that my sister will be making these soon. She's already... I had to call her to get the recipe. It's a 4-ingredient recipe for the reindeer poops, and I know what's in it, but I still had to call my sister to get it to confirm, to make sure it was the right one. And then she was like, how dare you? I can't believe you're going to be making this family recipe and you're going to be selling it. And I was like, I'm not selling it to anybody. I can't even sell it to my boss, so I don't know what you're freaking out about. But it's okay.
I love, Doug has got a PSA here. Doug says gin and vermouth in a martini are vegan even when you add the olives. So thanks for the PSA there, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. I knew we kept you around for something other than timers, which I might need tonight because I haven't even turned my timer on yet. So, haha. I'm going to give my hands a quick rinse here as they are a tad bit buttery. Oh, okay. Okay. Not going to lie, that did nothing. All it did was solidify the butter on my hands. Mm-hmm. So we're going to wipe it off. Okay. And now, the magic.
I'm so excited for the magic of the bar.
The magic. So you're going to grab your condensed milk and we're just pouring it right over top.
Have you ever used the chocolate condensed milk?
No.
Oh, they make a chocolate one too.
They make chocolate condensed milk? I have not. I worked for a chef, more French Canadian than me, and the day that I knew he was more French Canadian than me was when I was making something with Eagle Brand, and he came up with a spoon, and he just spoonful of condensed milk right in his mouth, and I was like, pardon me? I've never seen anyone do that. And he's like, oh, you don't do that at home? And I was like, no, Mark, I think you might be diabetic by the end of the year. But that was a thing for him. If I had an open can of condensed milk, he would just eat spoonfuls of it.
Gross.
And I mean, I didn't quite understand, but just burning a pot.
Barb says she might have to try this. She's never made magic bars.
Yes.
So Barb,
try it. And then harass Angie and tell her how amazing they are, okay? I'm just saying.
I feel like I'm going to find out how
you are
amazing
going to find
they
out.
are.
So I've got some unsweetened shredded coconut, dried cranberries, some chocolate here. This is milk chocolate, but dark chocolate typically works out a little bit better. And then the remainder of our chopped pecans. And we're just going to kind of evenly spread this over top.
Ooh, Denise says, have you tried, Pamela says, have you tried the chocolate? Haven't tried the chocolate, but the dulce de leche
Yes.
is really good. She can eat that by the spoonful. And then Denise says, oh yeah, the Eagle Brand dulce de leche. So you could use that in here too.
Absolutely, you could use the dulce de leche. I have used it. I do quite like the dulce de leche, but it's also very, very easy to make. If you don't have time to go grab a can of dulce de leche, but you have a can of condensed milk of the regular Eagle Brand, pop it into a pot, cover it with water, the whole can, like label and everything, into your pot, cover it, and bring it up to a simmer and simmer it for 3 hours. Keep adding water into it as it kind of evaporates. And after 3 hours, take it out, cool it down, open your can, and you have dulce de leche right there. You can also do it in your oven. But it's a quick way to make it. I love using dulce de leche in baked goods.
So this is cranberries. Could you use like raisins or other things?
You could use raisins if you wanted to use any form of dried fruit that you like. Apricots, you could do figs. I just really, really like cranberries, and I like the color.
Figs, those are some bougie magic bars.
I know. Those are ones we can't afford, I don't think. I think that's too fancy for me. All right. And I'm just kind of also pressing it down as I go. Very lightly, I'm not smashing it in. I'm just lightly pressing it into the condensed milk I'll finish with my chopped pecans here.
Barb and Denise are like, well, in 3 hours I can run to the store and buy some dulce de leche.
It's true. You can. Absolutely.
Assuming the highways are open and there's no floods and, then yeah. But if you're home and you're desperate for dulce de leche, you can make it.
You can make it. So this is kind of what this guy looks like here. This is now destined for my oven. That is preheated at 325. It's going to be baking for about 30 minutes, so I should be able to take it out right before we sign off tonight and hopefully be able to cut it and blow Angie's mind. So this is going to go into the oven now, and now we're going to forget about this guy. We'll do a live react, yes. Yes, we will.
Of me burning my face off on Magic Bars because they've just come out of the oven.
Yeah, well, you've seen me eat food, right? You've seen me eat hot food. I don't know how to actually wait for food to cool down. Most people wait or they blow on it. I just eat it and end up incinerating my mouth. I did it, twice today because we were making up I was whipping up a fresh batch of mini beef Wellingtons. I don't know whose idea that was, but
check.
yeah, but I ended up eating one that was very hot. But I always commit to it. I don't give up. I power through, and I generally do it again after I've given up. Now, while those guys are in the oven, I'm going to swap over to making our hot cheese dip, and then we'll finish with the reindeer poops because that's all stovetop. So for our cheese dip, I've got cream cheese, sour cream, and mayonnaise. I'm using prawns today instead of crab. I've got artichoke hearts. This is a combination of shredded cheddar and shredded, I got a Havarti pepper jack one, and a little bit more Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to go grab my friend the food processor. Okay. And the recipe that is for the crab, I wrote down to pulse everything together in the food processor except the crab because you don't want to puree your crab, and then fold that into the end. So for the prawns, I'm going to just give them a rough chop, and I will put them in the food processor at the end just so they can break down a little bit because they do have a bit more structure than your shredded crab. So in my food processor here, I'm going to add everything. Angie, do you mind grabbing me a dish that I can pop this in that goes in the oven?
Sure.
A baking dish? I'm very unprepared today.
How big?
Big enough to fit this.
Okay.
I don't know, two of our mac pans, two of our little guys.
Oh, sorry, a disposable dish?
No, it doesn't need to be disposable, the glass ones. Yeah.
Like that?
That's perfect. I can smell the nuts and bolts, and Angie is just about to stir them.
I am. That's
She is.
exactly what I was on my way to do.
That's what she's doing. I'm going to add in my Worcestershire sauce. We need to stop serving cocktails at staff meetings.
Why? Why?
I'm like forgetting how I got here today. All right. I'm going to add my artichoke hearts in here, and I'm going to pulse this together without the prawns. Did I grab the lid? Of course not. Need that.
I'm fairly certain that's the only reason people work here, but whatever.
What? For drinking purposes? It's true. Okay.
Smelling very nutty in there.
It smells pretty good. It smells very Worcestershire-y. Worcestershire. It smells good though. I'm going to take the tails off my prawns here. Give them a quick chop, throw them in.
So you subbed prawns. You could sub lobster. You could do shrimp. You could do whitefish, I guess.
You could do whitefish if you wanted to. I mean, I'm not going to lie. You could do canned tuna.
Oh, God. Yeah, why not? It's 1984.
It's 1984. We're moving through the years here. You could use canned tuna if you want. Did you know that I just learned earlier in the year that you can buy canned shredded chicken? I had no idea. Even though for years I've bought tuna and the chicken is right there. I never realized, oh, sorry, got mayonnaise on my nose. I never realized that you could buy just canned shredded chicken. I really don't pay attention when I go places or do things.
Bev says you could also use smoked salmon in there. That would be pretty good.
Yeah. Much better than canned tuna.
Yeah.
Much better than canned tuna. Listen to Bev. She knows what she's talking about.
You know, you can also buy beef in a can.
Like shredded
Yeah.
beef?
Yeah.
I've seen whole chickens in a can.
And turkey. There's a million things you can buy. Yeah.
I've also, you're talking to the girl who's never had Spam. We had this conversation.
I know.
I've never had Spam, and I'm going to be educated on the art and love of Spam. Tyler described it to me as eating a hot dog without the skin.
No, that's
what he
not
said.
accurate. Not accurate.
I don't know. That's what he told me. So why you don't listen to your... He was probably just setting me up for failure. He wanted me to say that.
Tyler's just jealous.
While he's over there making pastries. Okay. So, I've got my dip here that I'm going to pop into these little dishes. One for me and one for Angie. No, this is a lot of dip. Could you eat a whole thing like this, you think?
A whole dip like that?
Yeah.
No. No. Heather says you can buy a whole Christmas dinner in a can. Heather, I don't know where you're hanging out, but okay.
I don't know if I'm intrigued
I
or
mean,
scared.
I guess it's for astronauts, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Barb wants to do a Spam class. Oh, Barb, that'd be fun.
You know what? I'm down for that, Barb. Send me your ideas and I'll do it. I'm down. I want to learn about the art of Spam. Okay. And you can sprinkle some more cheese on top of this before it goes in the oven, if you'd like.
Because, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? I guess I'll go get some then.
But can I give you a pro tip of my own?
You can always give me a pro tip.
A
Hot tip.
So where's those weird Ritz cracker things you had?
My rice crackers? Oh,
Yeah,
they're over
no,
there. Oh, the
Ritz-
cheese sticks?
The Ritz crackers.
They're up there.
Did Jenna eat them all? So you can crumble those on top. So it's like a buttery panko topping with the Ritz crackers since it's 1982.
Since we are moving through the years.
Yeah.
That's like a great idea. That is a hot tip. Thank you, Angie. What would I do without you?
I mean, where am I right now?
I don't know.
Honestly, like we're. Yeah, the hot tub time machine.
Did you say hot tip time machine? Me and my hot tips. Okay. So
Is that supposed to be a single serving?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just using this as the baking dish.
Okay,
as
you
the
just
vessel.
asked me if I could eat all that. I'm
Well, I
like,
was just curious.
Am I supposed to eat all that?
No, I was just wondering. I mean, I'd like to see it, but no. This would be a lot of dip for one. So I'm going to pop that in the oven. That is going to live in there. I'm actually going to set a timer for it for 20 minutes. Now, I did cheat for the nuts and bolts. Is my oven at 275? Absolutely not. It's at 325. We're going into hyper mode because we want to make sure that they're done in time. I don't know how to follow a recipe. There's also that. I'd write them, but I might not follow them. So I'm going to clear this out of the way.
Bev says there was always a cheese ball in the 70s. Bev, I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy a good cheese ball.
I love a good cheese ball. Cream cheese, shredded cheese, and then you roll it in pecans.
There's a recipe in the Canadian turkey and the BC Turkey Farmers Cookbook that's a turkey cheese ball. It's delicious. It's got like shredded cooked turkey in it.
Ooh.
It is so good.
Shredded cooked
I might
turkey.
have to pull that out of the archives at some point.
I think I need to learn and see this.
Denise says, what about Jello salad? Denise, we talked about this earlier.
We talked about Jello salad?
We did talk about an aspic, which is basically a Jello
it's true.
salad.
I was vetoed on aspic because I was like, let me do it. No. And that was like the fastest veto I think I've ever had you do to my terrible ideas.
Well,
Not
an
terrible.
aspic is tomato typically with like chopped celery and stuff. So you
Have you ever done an aspic turkey?
I have lines to draw.
You have to, or I'll just go.
Yeah.
If you don't tell me to stop, I won't. It's a no limits chef tea class.
You can do that while I'm on vacation. That's what
You get
Dennis
those?
did. That's what Dennis did. Dennis went like
Buck
rogue.
wild.
Yeah, when I went on vacation.
Okay,
Oh.
well, we're gonna have a spam class.
Barb is telling me I better stir the nuts and bolts. Barb is the new Doug
Oh my
tonight.
goodness. Yeah, I can. They are smelling pretty good though, eh?
Well, I have concerns about this peanut situation.
What's wrong with my peanuts?
Well, they're kind of small.
My peanut. You're judging the size of my nuts?
Yep.
I don't think you can do that legally.
Just watch me.
Okay, all right. I'm pretty sure there are rules in place for that, especially in the workplace. Just, is this bowl gonna fit better? That bowl's gonna fit much better. Okay.
Barb, I feel like I might need a lawyer. Can you help me out?
So, while everything is in the oven, we are going to go on to my favorite Christmas treat right behind the magic bars. Number one, our reindeer poops. 4 ingredients, and it never disappoints. I've got chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, peanut butter, and Rice Krispies. Or what, crispy rice, or whatever, you know, puffed rice, whatever you want to use, but a crispy rice. So I've set up a quick little double boiler here. I've got a pot with about ½ an inch of water in there and a bowl that fits comfortably over top. I'm gonna take my chocolate, my butterscotch.
Barb's like, hey, I know my nuts and bolts. She's made them for 15 years. You use whole peanuts and lots of them. I'm like, hey, Barb, it's amateur hour over here.
It's amateur hour.
We might have to have a guest chef appearance from Barb to school us on the art of nuts and bolts.
If I just get to drink the whole time, we're good. I'm fine.
no.
Teach me your ways. I will never say no to someone telling me they want to show me the way that they do it. And then I
Barb
just
is
say,
the
okay.
grasshopper of nuts and bolts.
So, I've got my crispy treats here. And you can imagine all we're doing is melting the chocolate and the peanut butter together. And then we're going to stir in the Rice Krispies. And then I'm just going to drop them onto a sheet pan and pop them in the freezer until they harden, they stiffen up, and then that's it. And then you have your little Rice Krispie treats. Don't peanut gallery.
Oh, God. Gladys says, hey, I've never heard of any of these items. Gladys, when you come visit us in Canada, we will hook you up.
Absolutely.
And Doug says, if you use coconut oil with the
Dish that we serve at Christmas in my family, it's called lime old. And it's the lime jello, crushed pineapple, whipping cream, 7-Up. There's 7-Up in there. And we set it in the ring mold pan, you know, yeah. And it's still, and there's chopped walnuts, so I can't eat it anymore because there's walnuts in it. And we serve it at Christmas every year. Every time there's a new team member, someone new in the family, we make them try it as initiation because it's the most bizarre green-looking jiggly thing. And not once have we had someone complain about it yet. I mean, my partner was a little iffy, but...
Well, Barb would like an invite. Barb's like, yum, I want to go to your dinner.
Yeah, man, come hang out. It's just going to be me this year, so you can come hang out with me, Barb. I'll feed you lime molds. Feed you some weird French-Canadian food.
Huh.
I know.
I'm perplexed, honestly.
I know. How did I become a chef? I have no idea, but my family recipes leave a trail. An interesting trail. Okay. This is starting to come together here. And by come together, I mean it's very slowly melting.
So will this work with chunky peanut butter? Asking for a friend?
Asking for a friend, yes, it will. We'll add some texture. You could add peanuts in here if you wanted to. The chopped peanuts or whole peanuts. I'm sorry, Barb. You can use whole peanuts too. I don't want to ruin that for you.
Barb, I think you better maybe, Barb, if you're in the neighborhood, stop by tomorrow and sample the nuts and bolts situation. And then you can let us know all the things that
I've done wrong.
We've done wrong.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. And while you're here, pick up a popcorn calendar because we got our advent calendars, our popcorn advent calendars, and they're beautiful. And you should buy one.
Denise says all I can see is the green Jello mold from Christmas Vacation.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's leaking out of the box. Yeah, that's my favorite Christmas movie. And when I make weird movie quotes that may seem like I'm being really offensive, it's from Christmas Vacation more often than not. That's just the best.
Barb says she'll be here tomorrow, and she bought a popcorn calendar last year. She's good.
She's like, stop selling me popcorn calendars.
I'm going to stir the nuts and bolts again.
Stir the nuts and bolts.
I don't get yelled at again. I feel like these weird Chex cereal are going to taste better now that they're toasted.
I like Chex. You know what? You can get peanut butter Chex now. You're not a Chex person? I love Chex.
How do you know when your situation is done?
When it's nice and dry, so all the butter's absorbed and everything. If it doesn't seem wet, then it should be good to go. Are we there? Did my hyperdrive work?
I'm going to wait a minute.
Okay. Hey, while you're over there,
Yep.
you want to grab me a pan that I can conveniently drop my reindeer poops onto?
Like a sheet pan?
Like a sheet pan.
Oh my God, I would love to.
Oh, I knew it.
Would you like parchment?
Apartment?
An apartment?
I would love an apartment. I will take some parchment. I'll take an apartment in Langley too, but.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. So, I've got now, my chocolate is almost fully melted here. There's a couple small chips that are still working away, but this can now be taken off the heat at this point. The residual heat that's in the bowl will finish melting those small bits of chocolate and peanut butter.
So this is pretty kid-friendly, this
Absolutely.
recipe. Yeah. Kids, Tessa, same difference.
Same thing. I am on the same level. When I see most kids, I tell them that I am a child. I say, don't tell your parents, but I never grew up. So I am a child, just hiding in an adult's body. If I have to talk to them. I'm going to go ahead and add my crispy treats in here. We're going to fold it. You can't go wrong with this. It's crispy, it's sweet. You got a little bit of peanut butter in there. You could add little marshmallows if you wanted to. I really, 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 really wanted to buy the Christmas Rice Krispies just for shits and gigs to amuse Angie. But it does get coated in chocolate, and then it just kind of looks weird. So we went for the regular.
What do you mean it looks weird? It's called poop. Like,
well, yeah, but then if there's chunks of green and red sticking out of it, it's not exactly, you know. Do you? Are you well? Like, what?
Oh, wow. How is this my life right now?
I don't know why you hired me. I don't know how I got here, but oh, we blame Dennis.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And it's obviously your prerogative. You can make them as large or as small as you'd like. Typically, this recipe makes about 4 dozen at a tablespoon each. But you can, of course, make them much larger if you'd like. I believe the nuts and bolts are being removed from the oven.
There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to leave it.
It's a joke in everything I say. Okay. And we just drop this down here. You could also set this in a pan and then just cut it into squares. That's also definitely an option. But
I mean, this, the cereal consumption during the holidays must go through the roof. We got Cheerios, Chex Mix, Rice Krispies. I mean, did they sell this much cereal, like, in February?
I don't know, but I think this is actually the most cereal I've purchased in months. I won't lie. Buying, like, 1 box of each, that's...
I ate, like, 6 dry pieces of Chex. That's the most cereal I've eaten in a year. Easily.
But cereal's one of those, I don't know. I like eating cereal. We are closed. I like eating cereal late at night. I don't like having cereal for breakfast. I like having cereal late at night as like a secret. Like I don't want anyone to know. Well, now you guys know, but typically it's one of those like things I hide in a corner with my small bowl of cereal that I eat out of a coffee cup, actually. I don't even eat it out of a bowl. No, I'll put some milk in there sometimes, but the peanut butter checks, those I'll just eat right out of the box. Okay, here we go. Did you try some of my checks there? What do you think?
Well, I had a check. I had a check. Barb says she's glad we hired you.
Oh, Barb, that makes one person. No, I love coming out here.
Oh, Barb's like, Lucky Charms, aren't they magically delicious? I've
They
never
are.
had a Lucky Charm.
You've never had a Lucky Charm?
Nope.
I'm proud of you. I think that's the first thing I can say that I consume that you haven't.
I don't have kids.
I don't have kids.
You are a child, Tessa.
I am a child. I could be your child. I think we discovered this.
Oh,
But,
God.
But no, we don't need that. I don't need to stress you out like that. That's
No.
too much. So I'm going to pop these in the freezer for like 2 minutes just for the chocolate to harden. That's going to go off to the side. Do I do a shot of vodka while I wait? No, I'll finish
God.
my martini.
Where are you sleeping?
I don't know where I'm. In my car. On your couch. I am sleeping on your couch. I'm not driving back to Vancouver.
So the Chex Mix are out. We've got the Magic in the oven.
The magic is
and
baking.
The dip is in the other oven. How's the dip situation?
Let me check the dip.
And what do you serve the dip with?
Bread.
With bread, like sliced baguette?
Yeah, sliced
or-
baguette. I really like Triscuits with hot cheese dip. I know, she just made this weird face. I love Triscuits because they actually kind of hold up to the dip. They don't break. Like, you know, like those little wheat thins, they just break. It's a sad cracker.
Triscuits are like so salty. I'm not opposed to a Triscuit. I just am surprised they go with this dip.
Oh my.
Oh, what is happening over there?
I overfilled it.
Barb says you can dip your nuts and bolts.
You can dip your nuts and bolts. Okay, we're gonna let that cool down. I was inspired by Mary, so I filled it right to the top.
Uh-huh.
And
Is
then I
there
baked
parchment on that tray?
Of course there's no
No.
parchment. It's oozing off. There's no parchment, but it smells pretty good. Okay. So my nuts and bolts here, these are actually, it's pretty good.
So, okay, be honest. Those peanuts are going to be hard to eat because they're crumbs of peanut. Barb, I think, has the right idea. They have to be whole peanuts.
Or you take one of these to scoop up the peanuts.
I think
Yes,
that's...
the whole peanuts is the way to go.
Yeah.
Oh, real hot.
Oh, God. So, thanks for the pro tip, Barb. Leave your nuts whole.
Barb, I think you need to take over for me. I think we need to have you in here next week as I slowly slide into madness here. Okay.
So, the nuts and bolts will keep in a airtight container,
container.
until everybody eats them, or...
Yep. You can also, hear me out, you can put it in a Ziploc bag, nice and airtight, and you can also pop them in the freezer. And it will keep it fresh in the freezer. Just make sure that it is sealed properly. If there's too much air in there, then they will go stale or they might crystallize. But you can also keep it in the freezer for a couple days. But they will stay, you know, on your counter for probably about a good week, as long as they're sealed
Oh,
properly.
at least.
At least, right?
Yeah, quite a long time.
So,
Everybody's saying the mixed nuts are a better addition to this. So Denise and Barb are both like the Costco jar of mixed nuts.
Ooh, yeah.
And peanuts.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something there,
I think you're
ladies.
onto something there. So taking a look at my magic bars there, the condensed milk is starting to kind of come up and bubble along the sides, which is good news. I was about to grab that with my bare hands, and that would have been a terrible idea. So we're going to go ahead and...
We are at several hours without a workplace injury, so...
Are we at several hours?
Well, I cut myself a couple of hours ago, so
Oh.
yep.
That's pretty good for us.
Yeah, I know.
That's normally, yeah.
Heather says there's no point in nut parts when you can have full nuts. Barb, or Heather, I agree.
Oh, the nut jokes are rolling today. I am
I
actually
know.
going to use my nuts and bolts to dip in the dip. Is that
Okay,
weird?
you know that's going to burn your face off,
Oh
right?
my God, you're right. Okay, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch it.
Oh, she's going to do it. Just you
I'm going to
wait.
do it. I'm going to wait another minute, and then I will still burn my
Yep.
mouth because I'm. It's true. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not very patient when it comes to hot food. Like I know how it works, but.
Yeah.
Ooh, thin
I'm sure
crisp.
it's safe now.
Is it?
I'm
now
sure.
that it's been 30 seconds?
I'm sure it's safe
Yeah,
now.
now it must be. It must be.
Would you like a proper cracker?
I would like a proper cracker,
Okay.
yes. Were you about to just watch me like slurp that? Or?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, the magic.
Are
No.
these ready? Well, they look
They-
a little jiggly.
They're still a little jiggly. So I think these need to go back in the oven for at least another 10. And then we're just going to blast it on our Facebook story what they look like in 10 minutes because I can't keep you guys for that long. I mean, I can, but.
Okay. They're magical.
They're magical. Now I just keep them. They're magically delicious.
magical.
Sorry. I've got everything stuck in my head. So I'm going to pop these back in my oven here. We're going to wait. Now next week, I believe we won't be here on Wednesday next week.
Correct. We're on hiatus next week.
We are on hiatus next week, but we will be back the week after, which definitely puts us in Christmas territory. Should we bust out some oh man, can we start wearing ugly Christmas shirts?
Oh, we're not doing that now? Oh, sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Somebody's paying us money to do this for them privately next week, which is I find hilarious. So,
I don't know
yeah.
if I'm the right woman for the job.
I don't know what we're going to do the following week, but you guys all will see us on our Facebook page, and you'll be able to see what we've got coming up. Bev wants to learn how to make tortilla. I don't know if we have time for a proper tortilla in an hour. We'll see.
No, I'd be able to make the filling. I'd be able to make the dough and the filling separately, but I wouldn't be able to bake it off altogether. But I could make it and form it, but I wouldn't be able to get the whole thing.
So we'll come up with a really cool recipe. What else have you got in the oven, Chef? Is this it?
That's it.
Nuts and bolts. Oh, the poop. Where's your poop? Oh, let me get the poop out of the freezer. I'm excited for this situation here.
Are you?
Well, all right. Well,
That's pretty good.
it's happening.
That's a good dip. There's a knife under there, so that's it. That's all. Does it look like your, I was going to say your poop, but your reindeer poop?
I've never made this.
Well, you have a recipe for a reindeer poop, don't you? But
It's
it's totally
meringue.
different. It's
It's a
meringue.
meringue.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Is that your response to that? Okay. Oh my gosh.
All right. Back to the cheese.
Back to the cheese dip.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's a good hot cheese dip. I don't know why I added it to everything else today, but you know.
I mean, it's not a party until the hot cheese comes out.
Right?
Let's just be real. Oh, yeah, there's that. There is
God,
that.
I hope so. That's
Oh, man. Okay. This was ridiculous, stupid, fun, like a total throwback. Anyhow, I don't know if anybody learned anything tonight, except from Barb. We all learned something from Barb.
yeah, we
And
did.
from Bev.
And from
from
Bev.
Doug. So thanks for joining us tonight.
I'm gonna keep eating this.
Gladys, I know you're dying to try all of these recipes. Yeah.
My
Anyhow,
timer.
your timer's going off, Chef.
I know.
So we still have booze to drink. We made alcohol that will see us through the next few weeks. We still have our bourbon, our fig and cinnamon bourbon. We have our orange cellos. So we still have cocktails to make. So that means we're not done cooking yet. So like Chef said, we're taking a break next week, and then we'll be back the following week with more
Hot messes.
more Christmas recipes. Less poop, more Christmas.
More Christmas. I got it out of my system.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's a weird thing to say, isn't it?
Oh, God. So thanks for joining us. We will see you back here in 2 weeks in the Well Seasoned Kitchen. Meanwhile, if you're in the store, stop in, stick your head in the kitchen, say hello. There will be nuts and bolts for breakfast.
Yep. Lunch and dinner.
Yeah, so if you're in the neighborhood, stop in and ask for a sample of the nuts and bolts. Chef will be happy to share them with you.
Absolutely.
And the recipes will live here on our Facebook page and on our website. So feel free to stop in and grab those recipes if you feel like you'd like to recreate any of this magic at home. And we'll share the magic bars on our Facebook stories and on our Instagram stories as soon as they're cool enough to eat. But thanks for joining us. We'll see you again in a couple weeks. Take care, everybody, and stay safe out there.